What's up, Stu?
Hey,
How was
what?
Halloween?
Yeah, that week.
Did you do anything fun for Halloween?
No,
Oh,
not at all.
You
What
didn't
about you?
dress up like you didn't dress up like an army guy or something, you know?
Nope, did not. Did not do anything. Stayed home.
Nah,
And we didn't have any kids. No trick or treaters.
You had zero trick or treaters?
Yeah,
Wow.
my wife made some baskets for the local kids and took them to their house, almost like Easter, Halloween. So yeah,
Okay.
it was
Well,
nice.
that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't have a single trick or treater, but it had nothing to do with COVID. We never have trick or treaters where I live.
I would imagine.
So I've never had any kid that would be brave enough to walk down my driveway for Halloween with all the signs I have at the end and everything else, I'd probably flip the kid at 20. It was like, hey, I got no candy, but here's $20. You know, you got big
Thanks for the effort.
cojones.
Thanks for the effort.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, you get GPS gets lost going to your house, man.
Yeah, but anyway, so we're gonna get started here in just a second, but everybody say hi. Glad you're here. We're gonna thanks for setting the stage.
Yes.
We are here for the Sales Copywriting Content Marketing Hacks podcast, as well as the Jim and Stu show. Welcome Hakeem, welcome Vicky. Glad you're here. Yes, I have my coffee. I've been up since real early this morning. So, and I got to do my workout after we get done with this. Tom says, show me your pickle.
You know, anywhere else, that would be a disturbing request. I'm just saying.
And so anyway, our assignment from last week was Stu was supposed to go read Think and Grow Rich. Now, I have one question and then I'll lead us off. Did you read Think and Grow Rich?
I did.
Okay, good,
Yeah.
good.
I powered through it. Okay. You know, I will say this. You know, I was really reading fairly intently, like, okay, everybody's read this book. I feel bad that I've never read it. So I started reading it. Then it was like everything I've ever heard of from Tony Robbins, Deepak Chopra, and Oprah all mixed into a book. And it was, I mean, it was good. It was good. There was a lot of things in there that I already knew, already do. He just gave it a name.
Well, I
like his agnostic view of infinite intelligence as well.
There you go. Well, that
was interesting.
That helps with book sales.
Yeah.
So just to give the historical perspective, because as the resident history major, what did you get your degree in?
Poli-sci.
Okay, political science. So that's basically the same thing.
Yeah. Well, it was in my time because it was all political science, Russian language, you know, and I was studying my enemy in the 80s.
There you go.
And then it became a history lesson.
There you go.
History degree after the 90s.
So the book was actually the interesting thing when you talk about a book hitting a vein or hitting at the right time.
Oh man.
This book actually was first published during the Great Depression and sold like 15 million copies. So people were looking for a solution. They were looking for answers. They were looking for something that was going to help them. And everybody was in the same boat. And the other thing that you'll notice when you look at it, there are 14 principles actually taught in the book. That you're absolutely right. Anybody who's talking about self-help and improvement and all that stuff now, he was talking about it back then.
Absolutely.
Guess what? He wasn't the first one either. So you can go back 2,000 years and quite frankly,
that's true.
Every one of those principles is taught in the Bible. So I've always been of the opinion that the Bible was the original self-help text, and every principle comes from the Bible. And so it's just interesting that all that's old is new again, and people rediscover it. And I remember the first time I ever heard of the book Think and Grow Rich, which I was listening to a program by a guy named Art Williams, A.O. Williams. I was listening to the audio program of his book, All You Can Do Is All You Can Do, but All You Can Do Is Enough. And he was talking about his journey with sales, and he was at a seminar, and the speaker said, if you've never read Think and Grow Rich, you need to. So he went and got a copy of Think and Grow Rich. That's the first time I'd ever heard of the book. And so this is when I had just started my job as a mortgage loan officer. And so I was really just filling up my mind with everything I could about success and mindset and everything. So I went to this little dusty used bookstore in Williamsburg, and I went in and I started just digging. It took me 2 hours because I asked the person, "Hey, do you have this book?" Said, I don't know. It'd be back there. So I'm going through every book on every shelf, and I finally found one of the original hardcover versions from 1937. Dang. And it was $10. And I was like, damn, man. All right. I mean, $10 was a lot of money to me right then. And so I bought it, and I absolutely devoured it. And I can honestly say that it was one of the most important books I've ever read in my life. Especially at that point, I had read The Power of Positive Thinking by Norman Vincent Peale. I had read How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. But this was the book that, at least for me, resonated right then and taught me principles that I could apply immediately. So it's a very special book to me for a lot of different reasons, because I can remember, man. I mean, I can remember just sitting there reading that book at night and plotting out how I was going to apply it to trying to go out and get loans. So what was your biggest takeaway from the book?
You know what it started reminding me of? It started reminding me of some of the things we were doing in DIY media marketing academy training, where, we would show some specialized information, like specialized knowledge, like he calls it. But we would tie it into discipline and persistence, and it was all these little things that we were suggesting people do,
right?
And also creativity, which is using your imagination. And so when I go through this book now, it's more of very similar to the way I go through this book. It's like a reference guide, right? I need to beef up on my organized planning, chapter, and
right.
Just kind of go through it, in that way. Or I have a tough decision to make, so let me read his, chapter 8 on decisions, right. And just kind of use it more as a reference guide now, that I've, gone through the whole thing. And then of course there's chapter 11. And that was something
I told you, man. I wonder what you will think of the mystery of sex transmutation.
Well, I will say this, I found that to be an interesting topic, and it makes sense. I mean, because if you think about physiologically and psychologically, what humans and any animal, reptilian brain part that we all share, when we're talking about brainstem, hypothalamus, you've heard of the 4 F's, right?
Yeah. Well, I've heard the 3: feeding, fighting, and procreation. Those are the 3 F's.
Well, we use like this. We use food, fight, flight, and reproduction.
Yeah.
So the 4 F's.
Yeah.
So anyway, it's taking that burning desire of just, your life and your future as a species, taking it that deep and tying it into using that strong emotional state and tying it into a goal or a thought or the vibration of a thought. And that was a interesting concept, because I tell you what, that's a strong desire.
Right. But that's, and you're absolutely right. And the vibration and all, you say vibration, but actually vibration and manifestation, meditation actually uses vibration in the various chakras, and including the sex chakra, to create a vibration that latches onto the thoughts as things, onto your visualization, and to have the universe draw it to you. And I again, you either buy into this stuff or you don't. But what happens, looking back now, 32 years later, 31, 32 years later, from when I first read that book, the difference between me now and then is 30 years of experience, a 30-year frame of reference, to look at this stuff now and say, okay, was this bullshit or was this real? And I'm pretty much inclined to say that all of it was real.
I would agree,
because the focus, the faith, the desire, the big one that has stood out to me, the thoughts as things, ties in with, it's different ways of representing the same thing. Thoughts as things is, other people talk about as creative visualization. Other people, your single overriding goal, your view of what you want to be, and then charging it with emotion, charging it with vibration. Basically, if you focus on something long enough and you learn what you need to learn, you only surround yourself with people that are going to help you to get better and to stay focused on that. And you program your conscious mind, you have faith that's on its way, you supercharge your desire, you're going to get what you want. I mean, those are the same principles that I tied up in my program, best-selling program, 5 Steps to Getting Anything You Want, which comes down to know exactly what you want, know why you want it, believe you can have it, have faith it's on its way to you, and take massive action towards its achievement. And so, I mean, all of these principles acting together are what get you, what gets you there. But I also think it's interesting to go back to the source of this stuff. And this is not the source, but this is a source for a lot of people coming forward from 1937, if that makes sense. So he got it from somewhere else.
Sure.
But then a lot of other people took it and went with it. And by the way, I'm only seeing 1 thumbs up like for what we're doing here. Come on, guys. Our social media and stuff runs on likes and shares and comments and tags.
And heart hugs.
And heart hugs. I call that the Care Bear, Care Bear reaction now. It don't run on thanks. Come on. If you're making comments, you can give us a little thingy. You can click that button to like it. We'll even take a nasty, mad-looking one. Come on now. You can do that for me. Please. That's like the love me, hate me, there's no money in the middle. That's the nice way. That's nice, Jim asking. What was the thing you thought was, and those of you who are here in the comments with us, who are here live, what is, I mean, lost like 5% of the people because they're like, oh, he's mean. He's in a grumpy mood today. And in the comments, tell us, what was your biggest takeaway ever from reading Think and Grow Rich? Or if you haven't read Think and Grow Rich, what would make you, I mean, is this making you want to actually go do it? Y'all are super bossy. It's not y'all, it's me. Stu's really nice. Stu's like the ultimate nice suburban dad. He's never going to be bossy to you.
I am.
What is your biggest takeaway in the comments from Think and Grow Rich? Now let's take the other side of it. What's the thing you read and you were like, nah, just this one I'm having trouble with? Was it the sex transmutation one?
No, I get that.
Okay.
I'm all about it. I figure if I can tie in,
okay, cowboy,
if I can tie in a goal with the same feeling that I have for other things like that, right. I mean, that goal's getting done. You know what I mean? It's very similar to what would we call it last week? The habit. Denise had a good one.
The Keystone habit.
Keystone habit. Yeah, it's not dissimilar from that. I mean, it's almost the same process of doing. You're just tying it in with, you know, something else that you already do, you already enjoy doing, you already have to do. You know, there's just, you know, different strong energies tied to all these different ways to do that. The part I liked the fears, you know, the 6 basic fears. What was it? 6 ghosts of fear. That was interesting. So 6 basic fears were, I think I wrote them all down here. Fear of poverty, fear of criticism, fear of ill health, fear of loss of love, fear of old age, fear of death.
You know, actually, some of those tie into page 16 of
yes,
the you know, the fears and the desires. The fears are basically just the mirror image of basic desire. So the fear of death on the other side, desire to stay young and healthy and stuff like that. I thought that was cool to understand. Once you understand those ghosts of fear, you can flip them, and they work really well in sales copy. Don't, they're so powerful though. You have to promise not to manipulate people with them. I do have one comment in here we do need to acknowledge, that Stu is never jumps you or is mean. That's not true. Unless you go around an obstacle on a race course, then he makes you do 58 count bodybuilders at 3,000 feet. So just saying,
if you're cheating and
get
caught,
cheating, the line was too damn long. Y'all should have been running that obstacle better.
Yeah, that could have been a better process. I would agree with that. But you had to pay to get around it.
That's true.
Like a little troll at that.
He came and caught us. We walked in. Stu comes walking up. Hey, if y'all are going to skip this obstacle, you're going to need to do 58 count bodybuilders right here before you go. And then just turned around and walked away. I'm like, damn, he tracked us down. We were like 100 yards away too. He walked a ways to catch us too. Like, damn, I better do it. Let's bust these out. So, but you still didn't answer my question. Was there anything that you were just kind of like, it's kind of BS?
You know, here's a problem. I have never done well with meditation.
Okay.
For me. And it's just something that I've tried. You know, the best thing for me is it's like 10 minutes before, and then I fall asleep. I take a nap, and then I got 10 minutes afterwards. When I wake up, I can kind of do something. But for me, meditation is nap time.
Okay.
I mean, I'm just going to fall asleep.
But I think you're cutting yourself short there, because that state right after you're done with a nap and you're in that theta state can be some of the most productive thinking and focusing and synapse linking up time you can ever have. Yeah,
I would agree. I just can't do it when
on purpose.
I'd not say that it's not on purpose, because every time I take a nap I'll think about what I have to do when I get up. Right. Okay. And it starts organizing. Right. And then right before I get up, I take that 5 or 10 minutes and do the same thing, and I go get it done. So, yeah, I guess I have what this book did for me was kind of give a name to what I already do. And there's some things in here I don't do, obviously. But
you don't talk to people who aren't there.
Yeah, there's that. You know, I look back, you know, 30, 35 years and think about my journey. and all the challenges and the goals that took place and the preparation that took place before each of them. And I can definitely see me doing, 80% of what's in this book.
Right.
Already. I just didn't know what it was.
You were using the principles naturally, but you weren't necessarily consciously applying them to a situation with focus and force in the moment.
Right.
On purpose.
Right. I didn't know that was a thing.
Right.
And
yeah. I agree 1,000%. Back to the nap thing. That's how I meditate now.
Mm-hmm.
I that's exactly what I do. I do it on purpose. I also, he didn't have in here, the 15th chapter, I think should be the Nappuccino.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Cappuccino is legit.
That's the best, man. You chug down some caffeine and then you just kind of lay there and think about what you need to get done. Your brain kind of resets for 10 or 20 minutes and then you wake back up. And as you wake back up, the caffeine sets in, but you just take that time to visualize exactly what you want to have happen. And then you're up and you go do it. And you make it happen, because now you've already practiced it. So that would be the thing. I would say, so if we were going to rewrite Think and Grow Rich, which we could because it's in the public domain.
Sure.
We could definitely do that. We could add a 15th chapter of the Nappuccino. But I would say the biggest thing for me that's had the biggest impact on my life from that book, and the discovery that I actually made, was the thoughts are things. That if you hold a thought long enough, and if you magnetize it, and if you just keep it alive, it will come true fruition. It has to. Yes. It might take a week. It might take 10 years. It might take 20 years. And the other thing, though, is that you don't necessarily have to do it more than once. Meaning, if you have a thought and you charge it with hellacious emotion, good or bad, usually good though, because bad, the vibration on that is so all over the place. But if it's good, it's a love vibration. And you put it out there, even if you just do it once, if you do it hard enough, it eventually will make its way back around to you. And I'm starting to see these things in life, looking back now that I'm 53 years old this month. I'm seeing where it's making the circle, and I'm seeing how I've learned to make it happen faster and stuff. I will tell you this, when I first talked to you, and then and this has been what, 6 years, at least 6 years ago, if not more. I think it's 6 or 7. I think this will be this is the 7th year since I met you. And I remember thinking, after I had talked to you about what we just started talking about business, and I remember having the thought, you know what, this dude and I are going to do some business. This guy and I are going to become friends, and we're going to do business. And we did. I mean,
you know what? That's funny. I did the same thing, because I saw your email. I'm like, ebook coach.
Yeah.
I need to ask him questions about ebooks. He's the ebook coach.
He might know something.
Yeah.
So that's cool. So I would just tell everybody, I have not read this. I'm sure, I bet Susan have. Have either of you read Thinking Fast and Slow by Daniel Kahneman? I have not read that, but I will check that out. So, I mean, if you haven't, bottom line, if you haven't read Think and Grow Rich, you should.
Consider it. Yeah.
Nah, don't consider it. Read it after you've read Copywriting Secrets, of course. Second, if you have read it, consider reading it again, because I bet you will see and hear and experience things that you, on your second or third or fourth reading, will go, damn, that's some deep stuff. And I can see where this has manifested itself in my life. Another book that I will suggest is a book I've read 3 times. It's by a lady named Lynn Grabhorn. It's called Excuse Me, Your Life is Waiting. And she is the one who, from her book, I learned about vibration and that's and thoughts are things, like really how thoughts are things. How to it's kind of woo woo, but it's you can apply it. It's practical. The one thing I will tell you though, and again, this is really shouldn't have any bearing, but I just think you should know that she ended up killing herself. She committed suicide, which I thought was quite odd, since she was teaching people how to manifest a better life and get anything you want out of life. So I just say that not really for any other reason than to just heads up, you know? So another book related to Think and Grow Rich that I've read and listened to multiple times is by a guy named W. Clement Stone, The Success System That Never Fails. W. Clement Stone was actually a patron of Napoleon Hill's as well. I could get this wrong because I got too many thoughts flying around my head, but W. Clement Stone owned Success Magazine, and he actually brought in Napoleon Hill to be the editor. I could be wrong, but I'm 99% sure that was the thing. So anyway, those are a couple of really good related books that I would suggest. What's your favorite? What's a book for you? Book suggestion for you, Stu?
Man,
Stu Smith's Guide to Navy SEAL Fitness.
That's a good one. Here's something I really enjoy. Now, I don't know if you've read this one, but this is one of my bathroom books.
Oh no!
And 501 must-know speeches.
Oh damn!
And is really good. I mean, it's everything in here from, Martin Luther King to Adolf Hitler. I mean, it's really good history book. And
is there a speech in there, the Acres of Diamond speech?
I don't know. I don't remember. It's so much. It's got everything from the Stoics, which probably
Conwell was his name. I don't know if it's listed by that. It's Conwell. He was the founder of Temple University, and he gave that speech over and over and over again.
Did he?
To raise millions of dollars to build Temple University. I'm just curious. I was just thinking that anyway. I'm gonna order that right now.
No, it's really good. You say Cromwell? No.
Conwell.
Conwell. I don't see it. Yeah. But anyway, it's a good one. It's one of those things that very inspiring.
That's
some
funny, dude. It's
Margaret Thatcher, Dalai Lama, you name it. Good stuff.
Wow. Cool.
But I will say this, final notes on Think and Grow Rich. For me, it was kind of a walk in history on learning human performance, like achieving a higher level of human performance, whether that is academic, it is physical fitness, it is goal setting, goal achievement, because the whole thing is about a journey of sub goals, having a clear focus, daily persistence, faith in yourself, energy to try, fearlessness, and just learning from your mistakes and failures and not being afraid to ask for help, defining your why. And, especially when there's, positive and negative things happening throughout this journey, being able to answer, that question that comes up in your head whenever things are going poorly. Why am I doing this? And if you have a good answer, and you clearly defined why, that answer will get you through it.
Yeah.
So it kind of just reorganizes all of that occurs in the journey of goal setting. Because there's a lot that goes on when you set a goal.
And and the only thing I would add to that, and then we'll wrap this up, is that you should also, to prove to yourself that this stuff actually works, is as you're looking at how you can use it moving forward, look backwards and see how you used it by accident or through partial knowledge in your own history to demonstrate that it actually does work, that these principles really do work. That's I think it just as important. Don't just think about how you can use it moving forward, but think about how you used it unwittingly in the past, which will reinforce, hey, this isn't BS and I should do this. I mean, did you employ any of those principles when you were getting ready for and going through BUDS and the rest of SEAL training and then even being in the SEAL team?
Absolutely. I mean, that's what it reminded me of. It reminded me of that journey. It reminded me of a teenager trying to get into the Naval Academy and that journey, and those ups and downs that occur, then the 4 years of the academy was, that was textbook,
Yeah.
Napoleon Hill getting through that one.
Yeah.
Because you had to have a lot of faith, while you were there and that you belong there, it was, yeah. So anyway, it was a good read. I appreciate you guys, inspiring me to read that, because after I was reading all the comments and everybody knew what it was. And I'm like, what the hell? I've never heard of this book. So I felt stupid.
I'm not culturally literate.
Yeah, you guys made me feel stupid. So I was like, I got to get smarter.
Yeah, don't do that.
Yeah.
Don't get smarter, Stu.
Yeah.
So, hey, just real quick, everybody, before we switch over to the podcast, just as a quick reminder, tomorrow and Friday, I'm doing a 2-day workshop on how to write and publish your own outrageously profitable ebook in as little as 7 days, even if you can't write, can't type, and failed high school English class. And this is a total redo. This is the 4th redo of the training that I've been doing since 2001, August of 2001, teaching people how to create their books, get their books published, market your books, make great book offers, just everything. I'm doing an entire 2-day workshop. It's absolutely free. You can come live. There will be no free replay. So I have been pushing it and pushing it and pushing it. Susan just putting the links in for everybody. When you go over to JimEdwardsMethod.com/7-day ebook, you just sign up and it'll get you started. So it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be real intense, but it's going to be life-changing for a lot of people. And this is something people would charge. Somebody else would charge you $500, $1,000, $1,500 for. But I'm doing it for free for a number of reasons, not the least of which I think that this would just be a good karma thing to do for the world at this point.
And karma.
Yes. So.
Yes.
All right.
Agree. I would agree. It also works.
Yeah.
I have done
that comes in handy.
I have done it.
That's awesome.
Yes.
Okay.
Even after publishing over a dozen books with a traditional publisher and self-publishing almost 40 ebooks, I did the program anyway.
And you ended up becoming a best-selling author on Amazon and having your biggest month ever on Amazon.
That is true. Month. I did not know how to get my stuff up on Amazon. Now, it's not because I tried. I was just like, man, this is too hard. Not sure how to do it, but walk you through it. So
awesome.
It works.
Awesome. Okay, so we are going to switch our gears now to the podcast. You guys don't need to go anywhere. Just feel your gears switching, perhaps in your chakras. I don't know.
95.
95? Okay, nice.
95 today.
Ready? Hey everybody, Jim Edwards here, and welcome back to the Sales, Copywriting, and Content Marketing Hacks podcast. I'm your host, Jim Edwards, along with my trusty co-host and podcast producer, Mr. Stu Smith. Welcome, Stu.
Welcome. Thank you for having me.
And it's nice to be had. We're closing in on episode 100. Today is episode 95. So we should hit 100 before the end of the year, barring natural disaster or anything else. Are we? Somebody just asked live, are you going to have a cake when you get to 100? No, we're going to make everybody do 100 push-ups in a row without stopping. So, Stu,
yes,
as the podcast producer and co-host of the Sales Copywriting Content Marketing Hacks podcast, what are we talking about today?
Well, we are going to talk about how to write an eye-popping bio that makes people want to know you or do business with you.
Oh, excuse me.
That
sounds pretty good.
How do you like that? That's a pretty good title too, wasn't it?
That was not bad at all.
Yeah, I got this from a one of the posts in the Jim Edwards method on sorry, say it. Sales Copywriting Content Marketing Hacks group on Facebook.
Oh my God.
Such a tongue twister.
Sales Copywriting Content Marketing Hacks
group.
With Jim Edwards and Stu Smith. Group.
Yes.
What's hard about that?
I don't know. It was hard for this morning. I got it written down right in front of me too.
Okay.
But anyway, yeah, I got it from one of the posts in there, and they were just asking if we had anything that you would recommend using to write a good bio.
Okay.
And if you don't, how do we write a good bio?
Okay.
I think I used a Jim Edwards method wizard to come up with that title. How do you like that? So that was a use of one of the title wizards whenever I came up with the title for
I like the
how to write an eye-popping bio that makes people want to know you or do business with you.
Okay. So there's really two things that when we're talking about a bio, and there's let's call it a short bio, and we'll call it a long bio. So a short bio is typically what we do. We call it, just your one sentence, what I do in one sentence, your one sentence hook, to telling people what you do in one sentence so that they go, holy crap, I want to do business with you. So mine is like, I help entrepreneurs just like you go from blank screen to compelling content and money-making sales messages at the whack of a button, no experience required. That's my, like, what do you do? And then the natural response to that should be, holy crap, what does that mean? That sounds cool. I need to know you. I know somebody else, one of my partners in Author Wizards, he tells people, I help authors turn their books into 18 different streams of income.
Nice.
And when he's at the right conference and he tells people that, they go from, huh? They go from, I'm not really paying attention to, what? I need that. What would be an example of your one sentence hook, Stu?
Ooh, I help struggling Spec Ops candidates get to and through training on the first time without even thinking about quitting.
Okay. That's a good start. You yanked that out of your butt just then.
I did.
Okay.
I did not have that.
That was pretty good. I was going to say we could probably go over to the one sentence hook wizard and dig out your project and do that, but that's pretty good. When we do the demo here in a minute, we'll do that. So the other end of that would be the kind of bio that you would use for inside of a book or your About Me page on your blog or your website, or for an introduction that someone would do if they had you on their podcast or their Zoom, or you were speaking from stage. So people said, hey, send me your bio. You need a little bit more than just the one sentence thing. So typically what you want to do is understand that your bio, though it's about you, it's not about you. It's about you as it applies to the target audience. So you might have a few different bios that you would use in different situations. So when I'm talking to people about copywriting, I have one bio that I'll use. When I talk to people about publishing and writing your own book or creating content or doing content marketing, I have a different bio. So, and it's not like it's fake. It's not as if you are tied to one definition of yourself, because that's my whole extended bio. But nobody gives a rat's ass about your whole extended bio. If they want a bio, they want the bio to see if you applied to them or not. Other things that I've learned about a bio are that people expect certain things, and so it's boring. You know, I graduated from college in 1989. I spent some time in finance until I was able to live my dream of actually writing my book. And then I went through a learning process of, nobody gives a crap about that. It's like, I graduated from college in 1989 with a degree in history, which qualified me to do one thing: teach history. There was no way that I was ever going to teach a class full of high school kids. My first 18 months out of college, I quit or got fired from 7 different jobs. The best job I kept for 3 years was delivering pizzas for Domino's, because that's where I made the most money. Then one day I was working for Nutrisystem in a center. I sold a lady a weight loss program. She said, you know, you'd be pretty good in my business. I told her, hey, you know what? I've been in every other business. What do you do? She explained to me she was in the mortgage business, explained to me how it worked. And I said, you know what? I could do that. And in the space of 18 months, I went from making about $10 an hour as a delivery guy to making 6 figures a year and wearing $400 suits, owning a house, and driving a paid for Acura. So, and then, I mean, I can compress or extend that. You know, how did I get into publishing books? Funny enough, I was at a reunion at homecoming in 1997 at my fraternity house, ran into a guy who told me how he and his dad had just bought a web server. Now, at that point, I'd already been turned down by 40 different publishers. And I said to him, hey, do you think I could sell my book from a website? Looking back, he was totally unqualified to give me any answer to that question except I don't know. But he said, yeah, sure, because he wanted to sell some web hosting. So that started me on a 4-year journey of figuring out how to publish online, how to sell, how to get traffic, how to get affiliates, and do all the stuff that you need to do to sell. And 4 years later, particularly after I learned about a 1-page sales letter, I was able to make enough money from that book to make a house payment, 2 car payments, and the electric bill every month. And that was the start of me doing what we're talking about here today. So, I mean, that's a pretty long bio, but I know the story, and I can then talk about sales copy. I can talk about content marketing. I can talk about publishing, all these things. So that, but nowhere in there did I really tell the traditional bio stuff, because nobody cares about that. But it was a cool story, and it made people think, hey, if he can do it, I can do it. And there were some things that applied to you in there as well. So there are other things that you can add to your bio, like, you know, education, sure, but you also want to talk about things that earn you the right to talk about whatever you're talking about. You know, I spent 4 years figuring this out. There was nobody to teach you. There was no ClickFunnels. There wasn't even Google. There's, you know, I wasn't an overnight success. I figured it out. They want to know cool facts about you too. You know, along the way, I became a grandpa at age 39. So now I can still, you know, my one grandson is 14 years old, and I can still beat him in a 100-meter race, which is fun. Little smart asses. Anyway, that's what's key with a bio. Nobody wants to read your bio. It's not a resume.
So you want to make it more of a story.
A story that inspires and resonates with your target audience. It's not a resume.
Right. Kind of a very short version of maybe a hero's journey.
To a degree, sure. It can have those elements in it, sure. Yeah, absolutely. Might even have multiple hero's journeys. I mean, that little story I told you had at least 2 hero's journeys in it.
Yeah.
So yeah, absolutely. That's, you know, it can be your bio could be your epiphany bridge story, could be your origin story, could be a hero's journey, could just be a list of cool, fun facts. Could just be, you know, C-Ray's here. He tells a cool story about how, I love this. He told us on the gym boat. He was telling us about how he is, and I'll probably screw this all up, but he's the only person to graduate from his university with a degree in electrical engineering without ever getting accepted to the electrical engineering school. They wouldn't take him, but he kept taking the classes. And then he went down and made nice with the lady at the registrar's office. And she was like, yep, I'll get you that degree. So he got it done, man. I love that story. And as far as a bio goes, I would much rather have a 1-sentence hook and a cool story about you as the bio than some big ass long resume. It just doesn't, for what we do, it's much more compelling from a sales copy standpoint. Now, there probably are cases where you have to do the resume type bio, but I don't ever want to be in a situation where I have to do that.
Yeah, that's a really good point.
So how close did I get, Ray? I'm just curious. How close I got on remembering the story. That's one of the cool things about the gym boat is everybody just like totally drops their guard and tells all the cool stories, and we have a lot of fun. I'm sad we can't do it this year, but so I'm sure we'll do it next year. This freaking COVID crap will be over. He's like, yes, I probably told tales out of school I shouldn't tell, and now he's gonna beat me up when he sees me, but he'll do it with love. Another cool fact about Ray is that he was in the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movie. He was one of the fighters in that movie. He took 5 or 6 months off from college to be able to make that movie. And again, he made friends with the lady at the registrar's office to be able to take that leave from school to be able to go act in the movie, which I thought was really cool. I never did anything cool with like that. I just got drunk in college.
Yeah.
So what are your thoughts on bios and stuff, Stu?
Well, I have to say I was in receive mode on this one because I could probably spruce up my bio a little better. Now, where would you recommend to go do that? Like I just listened to yours. Is there something that you have in the Jim Edwards method or funnel scripts that can
it's funny you should ask, Stu.
Have fine tune that for us?
It's funny you should ask. The other thing, just before we jump over that, the other thing I would tell you that makes a good kernel for a bio or a blurb is an accomplishment that you have done that relates to your target audience. Now, that's 2 levels on that. So we'll use you as an example. You know, I'm Stu Smith. I graduated from class 182 in Buds. I remember it from your email. That's how I know, because I was like, what does that number even mean? And you told me what that means. That's like, I'm not weirdo stalking you. I just know that because I freaking use your email every day.
Yes.
So I graduated from Buds in class 182. I have helped over, and you need to know the number, I have helped train over 300, 400, 500 Buds candidates to successfully graduate from Buds, 90% of them on the very first try. If that was your hook in your bio, come on, dude.
Yeah.
And it's not bragging, it's the truth. So I just, I know you're the humble professional and that whole ethos and all that stuff. But if you really want to help these kids, you got to tell them the stuff that's going to make them go, holy shit, this is the guy to listen to. And you're a little too shy with that stuff. It's not bragging if it's the truth. Yeah. And if you couch it the right way. I mean, you got guys, show that thing that you had like 8 guys going through Hell Week at one time, and every single one of them graduated, or one of them didn't graduate because he like had a leg severed off. I mean, that's a good excuse. And those guys gave you that cool ore with all their names and stuff on it when they made it through SQT. Yeah. That's a big deal.
Yeah.
But it's a big deal from the standpoint of the people who hear it can be like, holy crap, this guy knows what I need to know. I need to pay attention. Unlike David Goggins, who he's a whole separate animal, but his whole solution is basically beat the living shit out of yourself and you might make it if you're tough enough. And I was real good at slamming my head in a car door. That approach isn't going to work for most people. It might work mentally, but physically they got to do what you know how to do. So you owe it to these kids. You owe it to the United States of America as a patriot.
I would agree.
To deliver that message to a degree that you could inspire and show kids that there's a better way. The Navy needs you, son. You need to do a better job with your communication. All right.
All right. I like that. No, I will. Hey. I got some ideas. You always give me great ideas, and I go with them. And in fact, I used a quote wizard the other day that I think it blew up the internet.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. In fact, here's the title. Here's the title that the quote wizard gave me. And I posted this one in the Jim Edwards method, or I'm sorry, the sales copywriting content marketing hacks group.
Nice work. You got the name right.
Thank you. How an old African proverb can help you graduate spec ops training without even thinking about quitting.
So what kind of results did you get from that article?
Well, I tell you what, it's the first time I ever broke 1,000 clicks in a 24-hour period as a Instagram story.
Oh, crap. With no promotion, right?
No promotion. It was just boom. It was just an Instagram story. Boom. Everybody was clicking it. And then I put it up on Facebook, and then I put it up in the newsletter. And yeah, it was a good week. Towards the end of the week, I did it on Halloween. So, between
did you sell some books too?
Yeah, a whole lot. So it was a good weekend.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I love that. Great job.
Yeah.
So a couple things I want to show you that we have that would help you, and then we're going to wrap this up. We got the What I Do in One Sentence Hook Wizard. And actually, I'm going to practice something here. Just give me, I'm getting ready for the thing tomorrow. I'm going to try a different switch. So I'm going to do this. And then you're still with me, right, Stu?
Yep.
So that's not showing up. Hang on. Let me see. Okay. So this is just practicing for tomorrow. Is that any less or more visible than normal? Can you guys see that pretty clearly?
Let's see. You're doing live, I assume.
Yeah, I mean, I'm actually on the What I Do in One Sentence Hook Wizard. I mean, that doesn't look any worse or better than usual, right?
No, it's fine. I just had to make my screen a little bigger. That was all.
Okay. I'm testing some stuff for when I do this live. That's why. I mean, I figured I got people here. Let me know if this is any more or less blurry. Okay. Susan says looks clear to me. So that's good. Yep. Okay. So this is the One Sentence Hook Wizard. And we have, look at this, Stu Smith, Tactical Athletes. We have we have an example loaded in. So this will ask, what's your name? Who's your target audience? Topic, big benefit. What do you sell? Big result, unique identity, something hard they don't want to do. How fast can you get results? And who's your favorite public speaker or public figure? Click build, and this will help you come up with stuff. And I love this. Keep whacking till you see one you like. That goes with chapter 16 or whatever it was, chapter 12 or 13, the sex transmutation thing. Keep whacking till you find one you like. My books, ebooks, and online coaching make tactical fitness a breeze for military, law enforcement, and firefighter candidates who are struggling to get to and through intense tactical assessment and selection programs. Dude, drop the mic right there. That's a really good one sentence hook. I don't care who you are. That's good, right?
I would agree.
Okay. I mean, would you use that?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm doing this.
Well, dude, all you have to do is go over to the damn wizard and load your own project.
I'm doing it.
All right. So that's the one. I mean, it does the other cool thing it does is, especially if you were interacting with people one-on-one, as we do, you would be able to, ask them a question like, hey, do you know how blank Well, this is what I do. So somebody else, you're at one of those conferences like that national strength and conditioning thing that you go to. And they say, hey, what do you do? Well, you know how military, law enforcement, and firefighter candidates really struggle with tactical fitness? Well, what I do is I help those guys get through intense tactical assessment selection programs, and do it with my books, my ebooks, my online coaching, so that they can actually qualify for service in their chosen tactical profession. Oh, damn. That's, whoa. I mean, that's the kind of thing you just kind of practice so that it's like a boom, boom, boom. And that's a networking thing.
So good.
Jeff just asked a question about the training that we're doing. He said, looking forward to the class. Do premium members get the replays? The answer to that is yes. So there you go. So that's one. And then the other, if you wanted to, you want to make more of a traditional type bio, I would just recommend using the 3-hour Kindle book wizard in here. And I would come down to we have the online version and the downloadable version. I recommend just using the online version now. Oh, look who our example is here. It's easier for me to write Stu's stuff than it is to write my own. So we load up all of Stu's details from the Tactical Trilogy, and it'll ask, about the author. It asks education, experience, awards, designations, the right. What are some things about the author to give them the right to be interviewed on this topic? Cool, fun facts. Obstacles, challenges, and then a bunch of other stuff for actually, this will help you write your whole book in 3 hours. But if we come down here to get results, and we'll go to DOCX and the author bio page, this actually writes your bio.
Oh yeah, I've used this.
And it's all coming back to me now. Yeah, I think you did a book with this.
Yeah.
So this gives you the 1-page bio. Stu Smith is an expert in fitness testing. His accomplishments include graduate of the Naval Academy, former Navy SEAL, military.com, fitness contributor, and certified as strength and conditioning specialist, blah, blah, blah. Amazon bestseller of numerous books. And then it's got all your personal info here, and then a call to action. So this would be perfect for your About Me page or something like that. So those would be the 2 tools that I would tell you to use inside of the Jim Edwards Method Premium. Would be the 3-hour Kindle book wizard and the What I Do in 1 Sentence wizard. That would be what I would suggest. So watch this. We're going to go back to, oh, look at that. I'm playing with the buttons, Stu.
I like it.
Yeah, boy.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm playing. I'm getting ready for tomorrow's live so that I can spend my time providing valuable information instead of focusing on the technology. You understand?
Oh, I understand. Thank you.
And so we can record it.
Yeah.
So that's what I got. Does anybody have any, just like we get like 2 minutes, we could do some quickie questions about bios and stuff, or Stu, we can wrap it up or whatever you want to do, man.
Yeah, let's take some questions. It can also be, just generic questions if you have them. Yeah.
Sola says, I'm also in the One Funnel Away Challenge. You get access to these wizards in the free trial of software. You do not. This all has nothing to do with the Jim Edwards Method Premium has nothing to do with funnel scripts. If you are going through the One Funnel Away Challenge, I would recommend you go to ofascripts.com and buy the OFA scripts, the funnel scripts specifically for going through the One Funnel Away Challenge. You can get those for $97. So I mean that's a bargain and a half. $97. You can go there and get all the scripts you need to finish the One Funnel Away Challenge out of funnel scripts without having to buy a whole membership. Where should your bio be on your website, the top or the bottom? Actually, your bio should probably be on a separate page, because typically on the action, it should never, if you're talking about a funnel, a sales letter or something like that, you're not going to have your bio on there. You probably will have your story, but you're not going to have your bio. So it's typically going to be on a separate page.
What about on a footer? Like on every single page that, you have a small little, like your 1-sentence bio, maybe a picture and a 1-sentence bio.
Every page? Is it going to help you make more sales? What is the purpose on that website? On your Stu Smith Fitness site, sure. You got About Stu right up there at the top. But yes, if it's a if it is a sales funnel, if it is a 1-page sales letter,
yeah, gotcha.
You do not have a link to anything other than disclaimers and stuff like that you need to legally have on there. Not giving legal advice, by the way. But no, you're not going to have a link off to your bio. Right. The one exception is if you're creating a funnel that you can advertise on Google AdWords or elsewhere where they want it to be a website. So then you might have that on a separate page with a little more prominent link. So you'd have about me, contact us, all the crap that Google says you have to be a real website in order to advertise. So Bob, I think that answered your question about the bio. Question. It was a good question. It just depends. What you don't want to do on a sales letter or anything else is to distract people and give them a chance to do anything other than to decide on whatever it is you're trying to get them to decide on. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
So,
but let's say it's on a page that is just your daily content. And
then I would have a link at the top about Jim, about Stu, about, Jeff.
Got it.
Jeff just says, how long does it now take each of you to write a book? Jeff, you need to show up for the training, because one of the things I'm going to do in the workshop is literally create the content for a brand new book right in front of your eyes and publish it on the second day of the workshop.
Yep.
So
I'm going to have one done before the end of this month. But it's the only reason why it's taking so long is that I have to take some new pictures.
Right. I was just going to say, you're probably doing new pictures.
Yeah.
Okay. Last question. Should I include testimonials on my bio page? Yeah, why not? Or you could have another page that says what others are saying about Bob and his products. Testimonials are, it's whatever you want to do. Whatever gets you the most stuff. So, all right. Well, thanks everybody for joining us for episode 95 of the Sales Copywriting Content Marketing Hacks podcast. I'm Jim Edwards, and for my good friend Stu Smith, everybody have a great day, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye, everybody.